it do Wednesday? How's everyone doing today on this magnificent, beautiful Wednesday afternoon? How we doing, good people? Roof, raise the roof. This should be a good day. Got afternoon baseball on, which I love. Love watching the baseball game while I'm doing this show. It just gives me something extra to do, I guess, from time to time. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. Hello, Facebook. We have a page on there as well. Who's to blame? As well as Twitter at W2B Dre Montez. And hello to you, YouTube. Dre Montez on YouTube as well. How we doing, good people? High fives in the building. Chest bump. Let's hug it out. Them hugs feel good. Them hugs feel damn good. All right, let's get our affirmations out the way. We're going to let it go. Ignore them. Give it time. Don't compete. Stay calm. It's on you. And laugh. You apply one of those throughout your daily routine, I guarantee you get better satisfaction out of it. Better satisfaction. But it's baby steps. You know, they just came through with an official report about making a long goal list. You know, you should keep it as simple as possible, like start with 1 or 2 as opposed to the 3 to 5. So keep your list short and obtainable and doable for sure. For sure. If you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. If you're finally getting your own place this week, congratulations. We knew you could do it. And if you got a vehicle, got your own wheels, you don't have to wait on nobody anymore. Those of you know who you are. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a damn good feeling. But we're going to have some fun on today's show, definitely for sure. But before we get into it, ESPN had a little bit too much fun this morning. Just a tad on the First Take show. They got Swagoo, new segment, Swagoo Snafus, and then you got Mad Dog with his rant and rage segment. And they both were outstanding, but the way they did them, the laughter, the energy, the believability in what they were saying instead of just reading a teleprompter. They like really felt this way. But the one that Swagoo showed a little kid's basketball game. And the referee in the middle of the game was on the phone, on his cell phone, in the middle of officiating a kid's basketball game. The parents were outraged. What is going on? You know, a few years ago, there was this article that came out in Sports Illustrated as well as ESPN News, and USA Today did an article on it as well. It was the violence in youth sports with game officials and parents. We've all seen videos. We've all seen the stories. We read the clippings. We know what that's about. And if you have a kid and lost it out there, or you saw another side of it, there's all angles of that you can see with the officials and the parents. But that right there was uncalled for. And Mad Dog's key point was when the Rams kicked a field goal. Because Sean McVay said he did that for the end of the season point differential to win the division. In week two. See, sometimes I believe coaches just say things just to say things. They don't know what they're saying or why they said it. I think they were probably frustrated. But in the end, it was something different for sure. What up, Miss D? Thanks for tuning in. But that's just wild to me. The official with the damn phone playing. You know, I watch a lot of movies and documentaries and docuseries that are based on true evidence and true stories and true situations. I like watching stuff like that. It gives me a better understanding. But sometimes I catch a movie that really just makes me get a sense of New York. And there's this movie out. It's not new. It's on Hulu. It's called 1001. It's starring the young lady that played in Medea's movie, the one that kept saying, her. It's starring her. This movie is so powerful. It takes place in New York before the Twin Towers. She's out of prison now. It shows a woman in prison. Now she's out on the street. She's trying to find her way, find a job. and the way New York was at that time, you had a felony. It was tough for everything. It was tough for everything. And they got the actual recording in the background of Mayor Rudy Giuliani enforcing streetwalking, jaywalking, enforcing that in these low-income housing neighborhoods in New York. I was never heard that speech before in my life, never. But she somehow never finds out where her son is at. He's in a foster care, but it's not going well. Little kid, probably 7 at the time. He jumps out the window of the foster home, and little boy on the street tell his mom, "You're here in the hospital." He tried to jump out the window. So the mom goes to the doctor and sees him. And she said, "I'm not going to let you come up in the foster home like I did. I'm getting you up out of here." So she takes him out of the hospital. And they're trying to find their way, living where they can. And she gives him another name because she don't want child services looking for him because she took him from the hospital. Now we're going to fast forward. She gets married. The kid is smart. He's smart as a whip. He gets into this very, very prestigious school in New York, and he's trying to go to, he could have his option of going to Harvard. But he kind of fell in love with music through his stepdad, who died of cancer in the movie. But him and his mom are having this relationship issue. She never wants to talk about his past, his childhood, his dad. So an incident comes up at the school, and they find out that Social Security number is not his. Moral of the story right here, it wasn't even her kid. It wasn't even her kid. She was outside on the corner drinking, and she saw a 3-year-old baby on the street, and she waited out there by that shelter for somebody to come out and look for him, and nobody did. So she took him. This movie is, I didn't know she could act that way. It was a very powerful scene in the movie, very powerful. So in the music, it's mid-80s hip-hop and 90s hip-hop in there. It's called 1001. And the reason it's called that, that's her apartment address. But check that movie out if you do get a chance. Now, I've seen the videos. A lot of Laker fans and Celtic fans got heated over the last 3 episodes of Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty. I have to admit, I was rooting like the shit was real. You ever watch a TV show and you feel like you in the scene, or a movie, you in the scene with them, and you get riled up for no reason at all? You're like, beat the Celtics. Yeah, I felt like beat the Celtics. I mean, they were going wild. But I learned watching this docuseries. Where was the officiating? Where was the security at those games in the 80s? What? In the 70s and 80s, what was the security? And what were those refs doing? I wonder, has anybody ever checked to see how many referees were caught up in any gambling scandal from the 70s to 1989? Because watching that Lakers series and watching highlights and seeing actual games as a kid, these officials out their damn mind. How you push somebody in the back with your foot, and that's not a foul? I am convinced there was some shenanigans going on. Damn sure in the 80s with them officials and the way they were calling them games. There has to be. There is no way. And this is the kicker here. If you watch this series, in the last 2 episodes, what was the security? Where is the security at for these athletes at these sporting arenas and events? We saw what happened at the Braves game earlier this year. Fan run on the field, two guys run on the field. They just want to hug them. We all would like to hug an athlete. WNBA players for me over here. WNBA players. I high five some guys. Hey, there you go. But other than that, WNBA all day. But back to these referees. And the security was just, how does a fan get to jump on the back of a player during a championship? I just don't get it. I think in the 80s and the 70s, late 70s and 80s, The referees and the fans went too far. Too far. If you haven't watched this series, it's deep. It's very deep. And if you're an NBA fan, you really appreciate it. You don't have to be a Laker fan or a Boston Celtic fan to appreciate this docuseries. But if you're a fan of the NBA, you dig it. You dig this. You dig the story that's going on behind the story. And you peep some of the pamphlets that they have on the desk, pause it a little bit, zoom in. You can see the conversation being had around basketball at that time, because really Magic and Bird saved the NBA. The NBA was about to file bankruptcy across the whole as a league. They had to come up with a plan and a plan of action. And luckily, it turned out the right way for all of us NBA fans. But that series, the next time you say that ref full of shit, go to that series. Go to the actual game footage and see how those refs were calling that game. I know they put something in their pockets. I know they put something in your pockets. And on that same level of that strength and that energy, losing control in sports. We lose control in sports when things go out of the ordinary. When things just go to a point you don't know how you got here. It's like some type of euphoria experience. If you play ball or you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a coach, you know what I'm talking about. Losing your cool in sports is one of the most unpleasant things to happen, because while you're going through it, you don't realize it. You don't realize it. They tell you, hey, chill out. You're going to get thrown out the game. Chill out. Now you have affected the whole energy of the team based on you losing your cool. Or you can take it a step further. When the coach loses his cool, you don't want your players seeing you in that state of mind. That's why coaches try to act a certain way when they're trying to defend their player. They're just trying to keep it, 100, as the kids say. But that can be a trying time for sure. What's up, Julie? I see your Steelers warm. It's a whole lot of females that are Steelers fans as a whole. Whole lot. So those three things, that movie on Hulu, 1001, the Max, HBO Max series, Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Peep that. And based off of me watching that episode, reflecting on losing your cool in sports, you got to figure out how to compartmentalize that negative energy that's coming your way, because they try to rile you up, get you in your uncomfortable zone instead of your comfort zone. Nobody wants your head right when you playing ball. They try to do disarray things to you when you playing ball to get you out of character, lose your cool, penalize your team, ejections, fines. On a lower level, expulsion. You get kicked out of high school today playing sports, I pray for you. Your parents got to go some unconventional ways, unconditional ways to get you an education. And if you want to keep playing sports, you probably got to leave the state. Live with your uncle, live with your aunt. Majority of athletes that made it, they had to leave home and go somewhere to get a better opportunity or another start. So keep that in mind. I think today it's even harder. You saw that BS documentary on HBO. You see them kids try to go unconventional ways on their own without any parents' involvement, getting in schools with no accreditation. Come on now. We can be better than that for sure. Speaking of better than that, let's do better with ourselves and our friends. Let's put somebody in a good mood today. Not everything's going to go your way on that day, that particular moment. Sometimes you need an ear to go to. They just want to talk. Just listen. Don't give advice. Just listen. Take a walk. You ain't always got to have a beer around it. Just have a walk somewhere. Go to the park, Forest Park, Tile Grove, Benton Park. Go to the brewery. Do a tour. Do something to chat it up with someone to get you out of that state. But if that doesn't work, got to work for my sponsor. Be right back.
St. Louis, are you suffering from depression? Our advanced mental health treatments offer support to those facing depression. Supported by science and over 1 million treatments administered, a countless number of lives have been revitalized with our newfound healing process. Because your well-being matters, we have 2 convenient St. Louis locations dedicated to your transformative pursuit of mental wellness. We understand the importance of informed decisions. Research, discover, and take the first step toward a brighter tomorrow. Visit palmiertms.com to uncover more about our non-drug treatment for depression, covered by all major insurance plans. Let us stand by your side on this journey towards mental wellness. Contact us today.
There we go. All right, we're back. Montez at midday on this What It Do Wednesday, or What Up Wednesday. How we doing, counselor? Thanks for joining the show. You missed the top of the hour. We talked about this movie on Hulu, 1001. Outstanding. Winning Time, The Rise of Lakers Dynasty. And our first deep talk was Losing Your Cool in Sports. Now, this other movie, it's a series. It's called The Other Black Girl. Them little work groups, when you're the only minority and you work in corporate and those little groups set up, do you ever question what are their intentions when they are so nice to you? You ever question when people are so nice to you in corporate America if you're a minority? If you question it, watch this show. Watch this damn show. Oh, my God. Oh, who just let a stranger do their hair? Hell no. No strangers touching my hair. My barber Shaq, that's a violation. That's a penalty. No. And you just let anybody put any chemicals in your head. And you just can't be eating anybody damn food just because they brought it to work. You never know what's in the sauce. You just never know. Be more careful in trying to make friends at work when you're the only minority there. You know what I'm talking about. You know. You got to play two roles now. We all know that. You can't be you at work if you're trying to rise up. Them days over with. They say they're not. They say they're better. But the people I talk to that share their work experience, they know they can't be themselves. They have to flip it just a little bit in order to make it through an 8 and 10 hour day. Is it worth it? Watching this show had so many questions. But the main one was, why we never listen to our friends that really have our true intentions of being our friend and looking out for your best interests at heart. Not asking for a ride, no money, no smoke, no drink, no nothing. Just want to be your friend. And I see something out of the ordinary that's not right with this particular group that's in your life, I'm going to speak up and speak out about that. She didn't believe her one good friend. It took her that long to get it through her head. But when she figured it out, I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's just something in the way they show the female experience in corporate today. Hell no. Y'all go through it. Y'all going through it. Well, this will be a discussion probably even more after Saturday. On the college football spectrum, we have Colorado playing Oregon, as I like to say. Plus 21, they're giving Colorado. Plus 21. And we all saw the video. Prime told his sons, you're not going nowhere. You're going to be right here. Meaning, possible jump to the NFL. Now, we all know Prime been coaching his boys since they were 6 and 7 years old. He said he stopped the TV show and doing all that because the boys were getting older and he didn't want nobody else coaching them. He wanted to focus on that. So what if we saw this in the movie with with Jesus Shuttlesworth? He got game. You can make it a package deal if you get the right mix, you get the right influential coach. Let's just say, what if they win this game this week? And that's going to really light up for an interesting showcase with USC, them Trojans and Caleb Williams. But what if he pulls off the unthinkable, goes 5-0? Then other people in the NFL are going to be talking, but hold on, not so fast. I don't think he's going to make the jump to the NFL to 25. But I'm thinking prime time. I can see a package deal with both of his sons and Coach Prime going to an NFL team. Not necessarily the Dallas Cowboys, because Jerry wants to be bigger star than the helmet on the team. We know that. He wants to be the prettiest old man in the building. His skin falling off him. That young girl still be on him for the money. For the money. Your skin hanging like that. No, no, no. Have no shot for romance. Okay, how desperate I am for a bill to get paid. No, no, not at all. But I could see this with minority ownership getting more involved and groups getting more involved with NFL teams. This is an unconventional way that where this whole thing went. Colorado don't even have the damn money to pay this man. But through season ticket sales sold out for the first time in decades, the merch going through the roof. That his tab was paid 3 days into them getting the job. That's insane. That's wild. I want to see how this works out with Coach Prime and his boys for the 25 season. See, I think he's going to stay at Colorado for at least 2 years. At least 2 years. He's going to stay there with his boys. And then after that, I can see a shift in where we're going with this. You know, what if his kids get drafted by Denver? He's still going to stay in Colorado, I do believe, because he enjoyed going to the game the other day in Denver. But the Coach Prime coaching aspect going to the NFL, I think it's going to get more juice probably next year. More juice next year because there's too many owners that are 75 and up still stuck in those times. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Carter? Those times when, oh, yeah, give me some old Louisiana iced tea. See, there's too many of those right now. They got to die off or something. I hand them down to them kids that got some common sense that see the diversity in sports across the board and want to get involved with this. But Prime, coaching his two boys in the NFL, even an offensive coordinator, I still think don't have to necessarily be the head coach, but getting a foot in the door with the NFL as a former player, a great pro athlete, baseball player too, he's going to be bigger than the team. And how many teams want all that attention? The last time I heard about this was with T.O. with Dallas. Jerry didn't like that. Tim Tebow doing a deal. They was bringing too much attention to the team in a way they didn't want it. Even Gronk had a little bit of issue with Coach Belichick. So I think it has to go somewhere where it make not only dollars, but it makes sense on that level. And I would love to know what's the next potential move coming in the NFL that wants to start fresh, new face, new city, new town, new stadium. Boom, we got this. Because I think it's a few upgrades coming in the NFL. You know, there's some other cities that want to get into bed with the NFL. But to get into bed with the NFL, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? Because as a person that lives in the city where we lost 2 teams, we lost 2 NFL, not 1 NFL team, but 2. The biggest game pulled ever since The Sting with Robert Redford and Jackie Gleason. Probably that. The ripoff in Harlem Nights. The way they did it in Uptown Saturday Night, that ripoff. But this one here, they ripped off an entire city. Twice. But they claim they smart, know everything. Okay. With AI, we all smart. Oh, my goodness. Going to take a short break and come right back. A word from our sponsor, Mountain Man Scrub.
Mountain Man Scrub. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Montez at midday. I don't know what you're doing on your Wednesday evening. Don't know what you got going on tonight. If you're trying to get out for some karaoke, you can try The Haunt. The Haunt got some karaoke going on. My man Chris over there on the 1s and 8s and 2s for sure on that as well. And there's also some interesting things musically going on. You know, this whole music thing has taken me on a whole new level because for the simple fact, I went to more concerts this year than probably the last 10 years. And I'm glad I did it I'm glad I did it because I got to meet some cool people. Got to meet some cool people and see some great musical acts and musicians and talented looping DJs. Looping DJs. I got that. And also in Waterloo this evening, you got Big Rod's Roadhouse. Get on down there to Big Rod's Roadhouse in Waterloo. Tell them Dre Montez sent you. They open up at 4 o'clock, Wednesday through Sunday. Great food, great people, great staff. And please tell me how big that parking lot is. Hey now. All right, good folks. Thank you for tuning into today's show. It's been a pleasure. And tomorrow we'll come right back at it. Same bat channel, same bat time, as we will get it in tomorrow for you here on Montez at midday. But get it off your chest. Don't hold it in. Some people out there that really care about your well-being. And just get it out there. Be a friend today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy.